We're looking at infrared and the natural world, investigating natural history and connections with infrared. And we're going to discover quite a few things, monitoring plant growth, hurricane formation, uh, temperatures in an animal's body, fish eyes, and how mosquitoes use infrared to feed off warm animals. And the first one here is looking at IR monitoring to detect areas of drought and looking at human activities which are causing severe water loss in the Amazon rainforest. And again here with a visible infrared imaging radiometer suite on a satellite using infrared to study the absorption and health of vegetation and soil composition, and doing so all over the world. And still using the IRS to monitor hurricane formation and looking at clouds, which with meteorology and the satellites to determine water vapor in the air and including atmospheric moisture to predict where hurricanes are going to form. And here able to use infrared films from infrared cameras to detect plant diseases, to look for differences and appearances in pigment and cell structure, and how the infrared will pick out different features of the trees. And here infrared images of a cat, which parts are warm, which parts are cold. Are they to be expected? And in a similar vein here, looking at lots of different animals, meerkat, zebra, flamingos, and other animals. And there's a link to see many, many more infrared images of the animals. And again, a horse and a dog's head. Red represents hotter areas, blue colder areas. Now, are any of the areas on either animal that surprises you and gives some reasons why or why not? And some reptiles and how they use infrared. Got an image of a python and a rattlesnake. Both have pit organs which can sense the heat of the prey, and so using the near infrared to do that. And you've got the black arrows going to the regular nostrils of the reptiles. And here is an image, infrared image of an atoll, and looking at how the lagoon flows, being able to detect some marine animals, bird nesting areas, etc. And a slightly different way here, humans can only see in the visible light region, but goldfish can see up to 200 nanometers shorter wavelengths, so that's ultraviolet, but 200 nanometer longer wavelengths, part of the infrared region. And that enables them to see a much broader part of the electromagnetic spectrum, and for safety and food finding as well. Vampire bat, these have pit sensors in the same way of the snakes that we saw, where they can sense the infrared heat signature of their prey in the dark. And so you see their nose, the nose leaf, and inside nasal pits with thermal receptors. So they're detecting the heat rather than looking at images. And mosquitoes use heat signatures of warm-blooded animals, mammals, as well as a sense of smell for CO2. And they have an ancient gene which helped their relatives avoid hotter areas. Now that gene has been adapted to direct them towards a warm prey. And you can also use IR, near-infrared spectroscopy, to be able to determine the age and species of different mosquitoes, and the age is significant for transmitting malaria. And a little more information about salmon and indeed their eyes. So salmon leave salt water, migrate up freshwater rivers to spawn, and in muddy river water, which is more turbid, they need better red infrared vision to be able to see. So there's a change in a vitamin in salt water to another one which gives them a better redshift and visibility. And again with eyes, with bullfrogs, their eyes see slightly differently in the top half and the lower half. So the frog will have its eyes half in the water, half out. The half out of the water has more receptors for visible light, and the lower half can see more infrared. So they're looking for food in the air and being able to see predators underwater with infrared. So that's just a few of the natural history, wildlife, and other features involving infrared. And you can go to look at some astronomy, some uses, and other items at link shown here.